Friday, whoa, bet this. This is the Link on the Breeze, 93.9. Let's just go right in the K-Wave News Zoom room where we have from a UOG social justice class. Terry Francisco, who you teach the class, right, Terry?
Yes, Chris, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm the instructor.
I didn't know whether to call you professor or instructor or teacher. So,
Yeah, either or.
You're right. So Professor Terry here teaches a social justice class, and then she's joined by one of her students, Brianna Duenas, and we'll just get right into it because we have the graphic which will pop up here. You guys are doing a donation drive, right? So just tell us more about that.
Oh, okay. Again, my name is Terry Francisco. I'm the instructor for the social justice course with the University of Guam social work program. So these are our social work students, and they're coordinating a drive to benefit the Zero Down and Gilbaza subdivisions in Jigo, right? So my student Brianna is going to talk about some of the logistics for our drive.
Hi, Brianna.
Good morning, Sabrina and Chris.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us today.
Of course.
Yeah. So as a class instructed by our teacher, Terry Francisco, we came up with a project to give back to the Zero Down and Gilbaza subdivisions. And we chose these subdivisions because these are subdivisions that have a big disparities within the community. And people who do live in these communities, they do go out into our they're essentially frontline workers. And at the end of the day, they go home to multi-generational families. And so we are doing a donation drive for PPE, feminine hygiene, cleaning supplies, preventative measures for these individuals and families.
Right. So personal hygiene type of products.
Right.
Well, and when is
so like face shields
or other sanitation.
Yes.
And when is the drop-off dates and times?
Yes. So drop-off location is Jigo Mayor's office, November 21st and 28th. Those are 2 Saturdays that you have the chance to donate, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
And can you tell us how does this kind of fit in the lines of social justice, Terry, and what you guys learn about in this class?
Well, we have to give you and Sabrina a shout out, right? Because we initially became aware of the issue and how these communities have been heavily impacted by COVID through the link.
Oh, thank you.
Right. I think it was Teresa Philippin from the FSM consulate who was, you hosted her on an interview. I think it was maybe in the beginning of October or mid-October, right? And so the students watched the link, and I as well, right? And they identified that this community historically has, they're very economically and socially disadvantaged and challenged, and it really is, it brought to light. She talked about, like Brianna talked about, some of the disparities that they've been facing, right? And that makes the community extra vulnerable to the disease, right? To the exposure. They're very high risk with the pandemic, right? And so, that's a part of the training as social workers, is to identify the community needs and to facilitate the accessibility to resources, right? And so we had class that evening, and the students talked about how, if they were sick, if they had been infected with COVID, what were the things that they would need, right? And how, this community might not be able to, if they're out of employment, if they're sick, if they're home, they might not have the resources to just go out and get things to make them feel better if they're really sick, right? They also don't have access to healthcare, right? A lot of them, right, has newly migrating communities from the FSM, right? So they thought about that, they reflected about that, and they came out with this drive as their project, right? So I'm very proud of them for that, having that insight and that awareness. But it started here on the link, so it's
Terry.
really nice how it's kind of come full circle,
right?
And here I am with Brianna now discussing it, and we've also been coordinating with the FSM consulate for the drive, as well as Manyetlu, right? So if the community would prefer to make a monetary donation, they can contact Brianna, and she'll give you her number in a little bit, and they can write checks out to Manyetlu, and we can facilitate distributing it to them or getting it to them.
That is so cool. I'm
Yeah.
really happy, and this is really neat. You want to go?
No, I was gonna ask. I know that you're accepting toiletries and personal hygiene projects and products and things like that. What about like vitamin C? You know, as I know that's kind of. I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah. Emergency,
Yeah.
airborne, water as well. Donations of bottled water, right?
Yeah.
And the students talked about that too. You know, if I'm sick, what do I need?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And if I can't go out and go to Payless and spend $50 if I'm sick, right, then how can we help this community to get what they need so that they can feel better, right? And Brianna is, you know, absolutely right. They're essential workers, right? So they've never, you know, during lockdown, they didn't really have that choice, right? They've been continuously exposed, right? And so they're very vulnerable. And now we saw the rise in numbers, right? How impacted they've been.
Right, yeah.
Have any of your
So-
students actually seen or been to Gilbazo or the Zero Down area?
A few of them, right? So again, historically, you know, this community has, you know, been challenged, right? So, you know, there have been other projects before COVID, right? That, you know, we've been able to kind of reach out to this community. So a couple of them have. You know, right now we've had to be really creative because UOG policy doesn't allow students to even enter the campus at this time, right? So they've been organizing this drive entirely from home.
Right. So this the drop-off dates Saturday, November 21st and Saturday, November 28th at the GIGO mayor's office. And so is the GIGO mayor going to be doing the distribution?
Yes. So we'll probably end up splitting it, right? So he can distribute as well as we can do a drop off to Manyetlu or the FSM consulate so they can distribute as well as they see necessary.
Terry, there's a comment here. Is the only drop off in Jigo? Is there another place that people can drop stuff?
Unfortunately, yes, it's only going to be in GIGO, right? We did consider you know, making it at UOG, but again, the policies right now don't allow students on campus, right? So that the students aren't able to help during the drop-offs physically, right? So that's why it's very limited, the drop-off location.
Well, thank you.
Right. So graciously, the GIGO mayor has opened up his staff, right, during these times to accept the donations for us.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Brianna. And then, Terry, I guess, do you already see other issues, areas of concern where you and your students might want to help out? If you have anything on the horizon, let us know now or when it comes up, and we'll help you get the word out.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chris and Sabrina. We really appreciate you guys. You know, it's not just about keeping updated, right, on mandates in the community. It's also about, you know, you have people come on and testify about their experiences with COVID, right? And that really helps us, you know, as a community to still feel connected to each other, to still witness each other's struggles and to still want to try to support each other as best we can. So the link has really, you know, fulfilled that purpose for us. You know, even if we're not even able to see each other, you've allowed us, and we're very grateful to have you guys and this program in our community. So
Well,
thank you
thanks,
for your
Terry.
service as well.
Terry, thank you so much for your kind words. We're just here to help, and you know, we only hope that we can one day live up to the example that you and your students are setting. Okay.
Thank you. Any
Thanks.
other words, Brianna?
Yeah, if the community would like more information, they can contact me at 683-8000. And I think I want to share, I know a lot of people do listen to the link. So if companies are out there also listening, I truly encourage all of you to contribute and support our students, because donations big or small will truly make an impact. And I think this is a great project that the students and our teacher put together. So
All right.
thank you.
Thank you. We'll
Brianna.
shake the
Thanks,
tree a
Terry.
little bit on our end and see what we can come up with to help out. So Terry, Brianna, thank you guys. All right.
You as well.
Stay
You guys take
safe.
care. Be
Right
safe.
on. Okay. There's virtual empanada. There we have air fried vegan.
Virtual empanado, no.
Yeah.
We didn't bring you anything.
No, it's all right.
Now
It's
we're
okay.
Mamala.
You're our guest. You're our guest. It's all right. Thank you, Terry. So grab some on the way out.
Thank you.
That's
Bye.
okay.
Goodbye.
9:39, guys. We'll take a quick break and come back and start to close out the show here on the link again. It's The Breeze 93.9. Good morning.